It's Week 9 of the National Football League. And up next is one of the best nicknames in football, Sauce Gardner. He stayed active a week ago with an 8-tackle performance. It's the Jets and the Bills, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
We're situated about 8 miles west of New York City at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets. Brandon Gaudin alongside my broadcast partner Charles Davis. And CD, our quarterbacks taking center stage here for each of their respective offenses. Josh Allen of the Bills, Zach Wilson of the Jets.
And Brandon, I think each one might be trying to play some form of keep away from the other, because when you think about time of possession and what that means in a game, it's great if you're able to hold on to the football and run your offense at your pace. And it also helps to keep the other guy's offense on the sideline. That's your goal for the game.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. We get our first look at this New York Jets offense, really retooled the last couple of seasons. And at the helm under center, second overall pick from 2021 out of BYU, Zach Wilson.
What I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
He completes that to Garrett Wilson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender. Made him
what do you mean by that, Purple?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Ready.
Throwing is Wilson. That is caught. It's Uzomah. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 43. They'll run for the first time with Breece Hall. But taking a look at Hall's numbers from a week ago, 18 carries, 69 yards, and a touchdown.
Just an all-right day from him last week. He really didn't break out for the huge yardage he had hoped going in.
Here we go.
I talked with him before the game, though, and he knows this is a new, fresh opportunity. He's put last week behind him, and his focus, getting some extra yardage with every carry he receives this week.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down.
Ready.
Now it's Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Bills have recovered. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
Then we see the Bills offense take the field here at quarterback Josh Allen.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that 1 interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
So good field position for the Bills as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Part of what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
And that's an early scramble to be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish it as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
And he's going to get this all the way down to the 2 before he's wrestled out. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A very early momentum changer there. Actually a dream killer for the defense because they forced a 3rd down. Felt like they had a good chance to get off the field defensively, and then they got hit with that big play.
1st and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover. And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. Devin Singletary, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. And the Bills use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. But just power football there, down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
An extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Here's the Bills kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their 2nd drive. 3-5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start is certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. CD, do you see an avenue where they can still be a playoff team, or is that ship sailed?
Well, since you took me to the nautical side, I'm going to try and keep up here because to me, this ship is about ready to pull out of port. These next couple of games are absolute must-wins for them. Now, if they can win a couple, get to 5-5, maybe they start believing in themselves. But a loss here, that would move them to 3-6. And if that's the case, well, that boat is going to head out to the harbor with them still on the dock. The Bills bring out a couple of extra defensive backs to defend this 3rd down play.
Yeah, they're going dime. Here's Wilson. Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. They get the USC man, Elijah Vera Tucker. So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Now it's Wilson. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Meanwhile, Allen's throw here taken in by Knox. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a 1st down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here's Allen. Out to his left. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
I can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense. And if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs, It'll pull defenders away from coverage and open up some choice throwing lanes for him moving forward.
And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Now Allen. And he fires one incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Bills with the football as we start quarter number 2, as they'll see what they can do on 3rd and goal. Here's Allen to throw it. And he's got his tight end Knox for a Bills touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bills go up by 2 touchdowns. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, and not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they've played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimal level.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. Week 9 here in the National Football League. He'll have 9 weeks to go after this. We've got a couple of good matchups in prime time to wrap up the first half of the season. Tonight, Tennessee and KC in the AFC. And then tomorrow night, an interconference matchup. Baltimore and New Orleans from the Superdome. Wilson's throw complete there to Moore. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. He'll get this up to the 47 and brought down there.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Come on, set.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Now Wilson. Open man is Uzomah. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A very solid gain of 27. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To throw is Wilson. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they're panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They were starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And he'll go right back to Moore, complete again. It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. On second down, a run with Hall. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. And this is going to be intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And the Bills are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
So here are the Bills to take over. They were losers to the Packers a week ago, but they got the lead right now here as they come up on a 1st and 10. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a 1st down.
Give him a little extra credit there. His head was cool as the play broke down. Didn't force a throw, and in the end, got to show off his athleticism with a nice gain to bring up a new set of downs.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. The Bills at 4-3, a game over 500. They were losers their last time out. Trying to get back in the win column, but obviously not an easy task here in a hostile environment.
Yeah, always tough to win away from home. But sometimes what you...
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack. 2 minutes to play, 1st half. It's 14-0. The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this 3rd down. Now Allen. And he completes it to the tight end, Knox. Touchdown! Dawson Knox with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Bills take a 3-touchdown lead. Well, CD, that's his 2nd touchdown already. And how about this offense? 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
An absolute total team effort right now. And let's face it, I don't think he's done. We're still in the 1st half. There's a lot of time left to go. I don't know what they're going to do on the other side trying to slow him down. But right now, he's feeling it.
So that drive, 4 plays. And it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. New York ready to go again offensively. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the play did on the last one.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Open man here is Conklin. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Creeping up on a minute to play in this 1st half. On 2nd down, here's a run with Singletary. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. They'll try to run for this with Singletary. And he's going to have a 1st down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach!
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. We start up at Soldier Field, Miami, making the trip north to take on Chicago. And it's the Dolphins who have the lead in that one. Cedric Wilson, a touchdown reception. From there, we'll head to Cincinnati to check on the Bengals at home at Paul Brown Stadium. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Carolina Panthers. Joe Burrow has thrown a touchdown pass. Lastly, we head to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough to check on the Patriots. And you can see there it's the visiting Colts who have the lead in that one. Kiki Cutie, a touchdown reception. With that, let's take a look at the next-gen stats for Buffalo in that first half. And the ground game has been a big part of why they have this big lead. And you have to figure they'll lean on it a little bit more in the third and fourth quarters. Meanwhile, for the Jets, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break. Both teams making their final adjustments for the second half to come. And to bring the action your way, we go back to MetLife Stadium and Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. From his end zone, Isaiah McKenzie. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. But the Bills offense set to take over to begin quarter number 3. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Allen. That's caught by Gabriel Davis. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Right back to Singletary on second down. 55 rushing yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
They'll find Gabriel Davis. He'll get it inside the 20, and they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Good work after the catch, going to net him 23 and a first. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Throwing now is Allen. He will find Diggs in the end zone. Touchdown, Buffalo. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Bills take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the third quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it, pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
Here's the Bills kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback. Barrios deciding not to bring it out. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. Let's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Now Wilson on first down.
This pass out wide to Hall. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. Straight ahead is Hall.
And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Wilson now off the bootleg. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
On is the punter man as he boots this one away.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here.
Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time. Now, Charles, remember they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. To throw, it's Allen. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Carl Lawson able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. Forced out to his left. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Josh Allen, very athletic at 6'5", showing the versatility, picking up the first on the scramble.
After the sack, you could understand him maybe being a little bit nervous back there, a little skittish, but he looked awfully decisive when he took off and ran.
Very decisive and picked up that first down in the process. Working the middle here, that's complete to Knox, the tight end. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. We have played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
95 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Singletary again. And he's going to get this down close to a first at about the Jets' 31. The Bills on third down. No problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. They'll run on first down with Singletary. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes a defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
And that is caught. It's Davis. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Again, it'll be Singletary. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Bills touchdown. Devin Singletary with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bills look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Here's Bass now for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it was finished off by a Devin Singletary touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. Jair Elam makes a pick. Then he will bring it back to about the 11-yard line. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. So after the INT, it's Allen. And he's got it. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. Allen going to throw. He will find Diggs in the end zone. Touchdown, Buffalo. Stephon Diggs. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bills continue to pour it on here in the 4th. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game. Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up the secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Here's the Bills kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. And New York set to take the field. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And they are going to take possession of the football inside the 15 at the 14-yard line.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the fourth quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. The kick by Bass is good, and the Bills will add on to their lead. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. And New York set to take the field. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively? And intercepted. Wilson's third of the game. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And the Bills are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. But my goodness, CD, I mean, this defense just continuing to dominate. They're really dominating on both sides of the ball. But for the defense, that's now 3 interceptions for them here in this ball game.
And what a great teaching tape for this defensive coordinator, right? When they go back and review this game, what does he always tell us that he preaches to his team? We're going to lead the league in effort. Well, they're doing that in this game as well as making big plays.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 140 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. The clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
They go right back to Singletary. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They'll try and run for this with Moss. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves them with a 2nd and 3. For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed to sleep. So for Buffalo,
the victory means they'll up their mark to 5-3 on the year.
And they will head home next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the Jets, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11.